Today we're going to talk about something we all think we know, happiness, but we're going to look at it a little differently. Our guide for this isn't going to be some scientific study, but the beautiful wisdom from a piece called The Architecture of Inner Light. We're going to explore what it really means to build that feeling of happiness from the inside out. Just let that sink in for a second. A quiet sunrise. Think about that. It's so different from how we usually picture happiness, right? We tend to think of it as a huge, loud firework, a big promotion, a major win. But this quote, it suggests something else entirely, something quieter, warmer, and way more consistent. So, first things first, let's really break down this amazing metaphor. What does it actually mean for happiness to be a quiet sunrise? Let's put it side by side with the ideas we're usually sold on. Okay, so on one side you have the loud celebration. This is the happiness of hitting a huge goal, crossing a finish line, that big, exciting party. And look, that stuff is great, but it's a peak, a momentary event. The source here points us towards something totally different, a quiet warmth. It's this steady, internal glow that doesn't need all those external fireworks. You could say it's the difference between a sudden lightning strike and the soft, ambient light of dawn.
And this is absolutely crucial. Sunrise happiness isn't some event you have to chase down. It's a presence you cultivate inside yourself. It's really a way of seeing. Think about it. The dawn's first light doesn't actually change the landscape, it just changes how you see it. Well, this kind of happiness does the same thing. It shines a light on the good that's already there, even in the most normal, everyday parts of your life. And that perception is the real foundation.
So that's the what, but of course that brings up a pretty big question. If happiness isn't just in those huge peak moments, then where in the world do we actually find it? Well, this next part gives us a pretty clear map. And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? If we're on the lookout for this quiet, warming feeling, where do we even point our attention? It's so incredibly easy to miss if you're only looking for those big fireworks. But lucky for us, the text gives some beautifully simple answer. And this, right here, is where the real power is. It's not in some abstract idea. It's in real, tangible, human experiences. Shared laughter. You know that deep, can't-stop giggle with a good friend? Small acts of kindness, whether you're giving them or receiving them. And maybe the most powerful one of all, the courage to hope again after the rain. In this view, happiness is resilience. It's that quiet strength to just believe in the sun, even when everything feels cloudy. These moments, these are the actual building blocks.
What a powerful idea. We spend so much of our lives focused on getting somewhere, the next job, the next milestone, the next goal. But this reminds us that happiness is actually found in the texture of the journey. It's in the feeling of the ground under our feet, not just a dot on the map we're trying to get to. And that shifts our whole focus from where we find happiness to how we experience it moment to moment.
And that brings us to the final and maybe most important shift in our mindset. If happiness is in the texture of the journey, that it's not something we chase and capture. It's something we practice. It becomes the way we move through the world, a daily act of building. And you know what? This wisdom boils the entire practice down to two simple but incredibly powerful steps. First, treasure what is. That just means actively noticing and appreciating those small moments, that shared laughter, that little act of kindness. It's about being present. And second, trust what may come. This is all about letting go of that constant anxiety about the future and just trusting in your own ability to handle whatever comes your way. These two steps together are the blueprint for building a strong and peaceful inner life. And that line right there, that's the heart of it all. It's such a profound reframing of everything. Happiness stops being this prize you get at the finish line and becomes the very way you travel. It's the posture you hold, the attention you pay, and the grace you give yourself as you just walk your path, day by day.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought. The text started by telling us that happiness paints even ordinary moments with gold. That means the gold is already there, woven into the texture of your day. So the only question left is, with this new way of seeing, what gold will you